Hello, I'm down in the woodshed. I've got a cup of tea and I'm just sweeping up from all the mess I left from yesterday and last night. I've made myself another bow. I've become slightly addicted to doing so, and I get a great sense of enjoyment from it. And on top of that, it costs me virtually nothing except my own time, which I've already indicated I enjoy the process of doing it. Right then, leading from that onto the back of this, the reason I'm making a few bows is because I've got more time to do so, because I'm not pushing out as many hiking sticks as I was. I've had a couple custom orders that have just gone out, and that's possibly the way it will go for the foreseeable future. The reason being, as a small-time crafter, the items I'm producing, hiking sticks, well, they're classified as a non-essential luxury item, and because of that, I'm a good indicator of what's happening out there in the world of finance, the economy, and people's personal decisions on what they're spending their money on and what they're prioritising. I'm no different, and you know, I do have another form of income as in another job. So, you know, that's not too big an issue for me, but it's still an income I had that I'm seeing squeezed. And I'm pretty sure many of you have got similar situations or know people or know times are about to change, so you know, this is nothing new. Yeah, a cup of tea's there, and as I look out, I've got my friend, our local pigeon that frequents or pretty much lives in our garden. Now you can quite easily see the mess I've got here and I'm about to sweep up, but bringing you out, you can see that weather is pretty miserable. It's windy, it's wet, and it's raining. So basically, once I've finished this, I've got to go in and start thinking about getting all my information ready for the end of the year, because here in the UK, if you're self-employed, you've got to get all your earnings and taxes and business affairs together to be able to produce figures for HMRC, which is the body which you have to justify what you've earned, what you've spent, and basically all things finances, to which they then work out how much tax you have to pay them and indeed the system. So yeah, times are changing and extremely fast, and there's plenty of people I myself look at our retrospective governments and local authorities and place some of our blames and concerns on them. But ultimately, this isn't just happening for me in my little quiet corner of Cornwall, in England, in the UK. This is happening worldwide to everybody. I'm not an educated man, but I'm switched on enough to know what's happening to me is happening to somebody in the States, in Europe, in Australia, you know, Canada, or even South America. This is all coming like a freight train down the track to you, if indeed you're thinking that you're going to escape. It's a worldwide thing that's happening at the minute. There's a lot of things, you know, it's the war that's happening in Ukraine, it's the green agenda, it's the pandemic, it's a upsurge in population, upsurge in the demand on wages, upsurge in fuel usage, and it's an upsurge in the way the finances, stocks and shares are now investing because of the downturn in traditional stocks and shares and markets. It's a big dynamic change that's all come together at once, creating the perfect storm financially and to those institutions, that then ripples down to manufacturing, i.e. jobs, food production. Those prices are going to go up. The thing is how resilient us as individuals are to either weather the storm or be able to make do and get ourselves through it. The difference though with what's happening at the moment is when people say get through to the other side, I don't think personally it's going to be a other side like what we've come from. Some things now are going to be just the way they are, and we're going to have to learn and adapt to this new world that we find ourselves in. So yeah, my stall has been brought in off the road because it's quite simply pointless leaving stock out there getting degraded and suffering the effects of the environment, the sun and everything like that. So I brought my stock in, brought my stall in, and we'll just concentrate on going to sales. And you know, even there's not a lot of activity, and my wife and our children, who have a stall that's still out on the road, can see a marked difference from previous years. And indeed, over the last few weeks, as things have really come to the fore in the news, and all the dire predictions, and indeed as things start to bite, my kids have actually learnt some economics, and I'll take you and I'll show you just first hand, even just a small little kid's stall, how it's been affected by what's actually happening out in the wider world. Yeah, it's a bit windy, and like I said, the weather's pretty poor, but I'm just going to quickly show you. As you can see, all their plants are pretty much coming up and they're in various states and stages, and the tulips are starting to throw bulbs for their flower heads, and it's all starting to come together for them. Yeah, again you can see more of their plants, and indeed this one's going to throw obviously a blood red flower, and you can see there's some more ready to go out over there, or just about ready. I have some myself actually, and they're looking really gorgeous and beautiful. I can't believe, like I say, when I was a younger man, like I say, I wouldn't have even looked twice, but I do actually enjoy looking at flowers now. Use the wind noise, but this is the kids' stall, and as you can see, they've got all their tulips out and they're starting to look really nice. They're all just starting to flower, and we've got a variety of colours there: yellows, whites, creams, a few red ones about to come up, and there's their sign. Yeah, so this is the stall out front and what it looks like, and you can see we've just got some spaces there, so 3 have gone. But you can have a look, we were selling for £2, and they initially started going at that price, but as soon as all that bad news started coming in over the last couple of weeks and everything happening, we've had to drop it to £1.50. Also, they've made a little deal of 4 for £5, and this is in an effort to sell them. And yesterday the weather was good and they were actually selling. We sold a lot, but people now are very cautious with their money, and as you can see, we've had to drop our prices to actually sell the flowers. Right then, so you've quite, you know, easily seen by what we've got out there that we've had to drop prices to sell those flowers, and indeed they're selling again, but after the initial shock of all those headlines in the news over the last couple of weeks, it kind of dried up a little bit. But yeah, and that's just going to be how things are. And indeed, I'm not rich. I don't have any how can I put it this way, safety net other than what I can provide, manufacture, and indeed make happen myself. So I'm not like some of the guys you may see on YouTube offering advice. I'm not going to do that because I'm in the same boat as you guys there. I'm a small time earner, and I don't have wealth to back me up in any way, shape or form. I don't have a mortgage and I don't have rent. I may discuss that at some point, but to cut a long story short, I'm 52, been a low earner all my life, worked hard, saved, and like I said, I own my own home and don't have rent. But many of you may be younger and having to still acquire any assets or means like that. But I still, obviously, I'm a low earner, I still have daily life costs and things like that. So I'm not going to be facetious and try to promote you need to do this, you need to do that, because we're all different, we've got different circumstances. The only thing I will say is with no sense of panic or no sense of unduly worrying people or anything like that, I would just strongly urge you to have a look at your finances, have a look at any contingency plans that you may have or you can implement, along the lines of just trying to allow you to be more resilient to what is coming down the line, whether that's, you know, cutting back on things, whether that's trying to reduce your outgoings. Whatever you have to do, I strongly suggest that you at least think about how resilient you are if things were to get bad or get worse or become difficult for yourself. I'm personally doing it, and as you can see, you know, even just myself and my stall, and indeed my kids have learned a valuable lesson, or a hard lesson shall we say, for young kids just trying to sell a few flowers. So yeah, it's just a small video just to show you that yes, things are real out there, and as a small time crafter, I'm possibly among the first cohort of people are going to get hit by all the changes, because obviously, as I've said, I'm not an essential, what I produce as a hiking stick isn't an essential item. And indeed, you know, I'd just like to say, you know, to everybody out there, be prepared, look after yourself, keep your eyes and ears open to what's happening, take it, some of it with a pinch of salt, but I would strongly suggest that in the back of your mind you have a little bit of preparedness, and like I say, explore avenues just to help yourself, your family and your loved ones possibly get through the hard times that could potentially be coming our way. This is Andy from Folklore Hiking Sticks. Take care, and I'll catch you again.